Hi guys, welcome to Fierce and Pretty. Honey here. I've never kind of been a birthday person per se. I don't know. It's kind of a Finnish quality also. We tend to be way too kind of humble or modest about things, and kind of celebrating your own birthday isn't a really Finnish thing. But for some reason today I wanted to make a little video around my birthday because there has been so many things in my mind. I just needed a way to channel them out, and this weird ramble is my way of getting it all out from my head. So because my birthday is kind of neat when it comes to numerology, my birthday is 11/11. So I had this experience when I was a kid. I don't know if I've ever shared this in this channel, maybe not, but I was still at school and we had this weird day when there was different type of activities, and one of them, there was a lady who was a numerologist, and I was, I don't know, around 10 or something, and I went to see her, and she asked my birthday and I told it to her. And the only thing that I remember from that session is when she said that I could be either really good in good or really good in bad. And that kind of blew my mind. And the fact that I still remember this, I don't know, almost roughly 30 years later, it just tells me a lot about the power of divination. Kind of when the right words are said on the right time. And that's maybe not a thing that we as tarot readers even think every time we do read cards for someone. For me, those words stuck in my mind, and when I was a teenager, I could have chosen the wrong turn many times. I had the opportunities, but for some reasons, because I went back from school that day and I was crying to my mom, and I said that I don't want to be bad. I really don't want to be bad. I don't want to be good and bad, even though if I could be like the, super villain from the Bond movies, I didn't want that. I wanted to be good. I must say that those words have, guide me on my path. And I got thinking about this when I was doing tarot readings for my daughter and her friends on Halloween, and I kept a mindful state that one needs to really think how one, reads cards for a person who might be, they just might get something that could be really useful for them in the long run. So that's why I wanted to do a little birthday spread today. And I was Googling and I found this spread. I'm gonna share this spread with you guys soon. But what else I've done today? As I said, I'm not a big birthday person, but my highlights on my birthdays, like today, was that my daughter made me coffee and breakfast. That's always amazing. She never makes coffee for me otherwise. And when my brother, he calls me every year on my birthday and sings to me, no matter in which country he is, wherever he might be. He always sings for me, and that's an awesome tradition. It's just as horrible and awesome every year. And I'm not very used to, getting a lot of birthday gifts, but hubby got me this moon goddess earrings today, and I have the smaller ones in gold, but these bigger ones are in silver, and I just adore them. And I put them on for today when we went for a walk in the forest with the dog. And these simple things that I was lucky enough, even though it's a work day for me, but I'm having a home office day, so I could steal an hour and go for a walk. I chose my favorite forest and there was nobody there. And normally the November weather is shitty, but today the sun was shining, the air was fresh. There was these little droplets of water on the branches of the trees. And one of the most breathtaking moments was when I went to near a swamp, and there was these pine trees, and two of them were breathing. Because when I was breathing in the forest, there came this, the smoke, the mist out of your mouth when the air is cool. But I saw two pine trees and they were breathing with me. There was this steam just rising out from the trunk. And I've never seen trees breathe like that. And my last name is linked to that tree. So it felt so funny that there we were, all of us pine trees, breathing this fresh air and exchanging important, particles. They were helping me breathe by giving me oxygen, and I was breathing out the carbon dioxide. But that was a beautiful moment. And I always go to this place that reminds me of, have you seen the Lion King cartoon? There's the place, I think it's called the Elephant's Graveyard or something. The graveyard part where the bad lions live. And this area where they have chopped away all the woods makes me feel like that. It always makes me sad, but I always go there to see how the trees are growing. All these babies are coming out, and every time I go, I make one of these stone statues. I don't know what they're called, but to leave my intention there, because I always talk in the forest with the Finnish forest deities like Tapio and Mielikki, and all the spirits of the forest, the spirits of the trees and rocks. And when I'm alone, I talk to them. This is my way of leaving some issue, some worry that I can't resolve. Leave it to them with my intention and requests for their help. And when I turned my back to the stone statue and left walking, backwards home, I felt lighter. That was one of the, best gifts I could give myself today. Yeah, but back to the tarot spread. So I chose this spread out of the internet randomly, and the card positions were: what did the previous year bring? What lessons should you take with you into the coming year? What should your focus be in the next year of your life? And what will the next year bring for you? So I thought that I would quickly share this tarot spread that I did today, and mostly so that I can get back to it maybe next year and see what came to be and what didn't. What did the previous year bring? I got the Fool card, and it truly, I did start a whole new journey with the craft last year, and it was a big jump, a real full moment. I'm willing to put myself in a spot where people close to me, people have known me all my life, can think I'm as ridiculous and foolish as the Fool card ever can be. But I haven't cared. It's brought so much, joy and learning in my life. And even though my path is still in the beginning, I'm proud of myself that I made the jump. And with the second card, what lessons should I take with me into the coming year? I got the Seven of Cups, and because I was using the Thoth deck, my greenie, and it's the debauch. And I actually love this card. I always see those flowers like little girls with green dresses. and what I've learned is, while I've been studying witchcraft, I've learned to take more responsibility on things that are going on in my life. I've learned to take more responsibility on my choices and stand behind them and be more conscious about choices, and also be more patient, that I don't get too overwhelmed when it comes to whatever, to know what I want more and not be mesmerized about all the things that would be available. And the third card is what should be my focus in the next year of my life. And there I got the Ace of Swords. And for me, I know exactly what that is talking about. But there we tend to go so deep that I will just leave it there. Everybody can see that there is this, new start. And especially that I chose the Thoth card. I'm really happy, and I'm really focusing to this image, this specific image. The sword with the moons piercing kind of the crown. There's a whole lot of symbology there for me. And for the last position, what will the next year bring for me? So how will my 39th year on this planet look like? And the Sun card. Boy, wouldn't that be good? We've all had tough few years, so I'm really eager to see what good things, because I have a lot of goals that I'm, striving for. So at least the Sun card promises happiness there. And I can't wait to see next November, when I will be 40, that what was the sunshine that came. And because I said this is a rambly, weird video, I have to share one thing, because if you've seen my last video, during Samhain, I made on a slow process my ancestral altar and different workings around that area. And I've been working a lot with the concept of death, and that has been a big interest of mine this past year. These past 2 nights before I've come home from work, it's dark already, I put on the candles in the house, and for some reason I've been wanting to play old jazz, and it was super relaxing. And first my initial thought was like, am I just getting so middle-aged that I want to be listening old jazz rather than heavy metal or whatever I normally listen? And also the hubby was like, what the fuck is going on? Is this phase going to last for a long time? Because I'm like, I can't listen to this jazz anymore. And I was like, oh, I don't know. For some reason, it just calms me. It soothes me. And I've been reading books under my blanket, listening to this old jazz. But today, when I was coming home from the forest trip, I called my dad, and then we got to talk about his father. So one of my ancestors on my altar, and he was a musician. And then I asked my dad, what type of music did, Grandpa play? And he answered like, oh, well, he was playing his saxophone, but like this, old jazz. And I was like, okay, now I get it. So it's been weird because, I don't know, there might be some other people like me that are kind of in a beginning part of this spiritual journey or moving into their own witchcraft practice. And when we listen to other people on social media talk about their practices, we get these thoughts in our head that things should be like really monumental and big and weird. And when actually, I think things like this, that I want to be listening to jazz. When you know, the picture of my grandpa is right behind me, things could be just small things like this. And then just on this week, I was in a hospital, and there they served as a dessert this pink lingonberry porridge that was the food that my grandma, the wife of this saxophone playing granddad, used to make me when I was a little girl. And that's a food that always reminds me of her. And I've never made that myself in my whole life. And then there it was. It's not a typical thing to have, you know, anymore. It's not a common food to be serving. And I was just thinking about my grandma and these little synchronicities that follow these workings that I do. They give me the sense that my practice is growing and my practice is evolving. And maybe the jazz part wasn't just me getting old. Maybe it was just them wanting to listen to that music, because you know, they met when my grandma was singing and he was playing the saxophone, and they fell in love. And one evening I just fell into kind of a meditation on the sofa, and I started to imagine them dancing there in the living room and enjoying this music. And in that meditation, even they got to see my daughter, whom they've never seen, and she was dancing with them. And even then I didn't, you know, link this music to them. It was just only today when I was talking with my father about the jazz, when, you know, all the pieces kind of clicked together. Well, I guess this was all that was bothering me in my head. So once again, no beginning, no end, just random rambles. But thanks for being there. Until next time. Bye guys.